Hey guys, so how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. We're dang near 1,000 subs, closer than I ever thought I'd be. But you know, we put in some time and effort here on the channel, so I suppose we kind of deserve it, but none of it would happen without my wife. You know, I have to give her most of the credit for being supportive of this crazy hobby that I've picked up here over the last 5 years or so. Going on 6 now, I guess, but she's always been supportive of my hobbies. But you know, with that said, it's dang near Christmas and the New Year, so I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from my family to yours. And you know, I hope everybody's well and hope everything goes well for you. What are we gonna do with the channel from here on out? We're just gonna get back to the part, you know, a majority of you subbed over, and that was the porting videos and, you know, the repair videos and tear downs and bringing saws back from the dead videos. And, you know, we picked up subs from, I used to post workout videos, but we had a small following there. Some of you hung around, you know, I appreciate that. I've picked up subs from my Mustang build. I've shared some little tips and things for cars. I've done some saw review videos. You know, we've put in some effort, and you know, I'd like to thank everybody that hit that sub button and stuck around. But if you like the videos and you want to see all of them, Smitty had shown this. You know, Smitty's chainsaws and firewood. I'm sure anyone watching this knows who he is anyway, but the little bell beside of the sub button, if you'll click that, whether you're on PC or on your phone, you'll get notified of everything I do, you know, whether you like it or not. And believe it or not, you know, there's some people out there that don't agree with us, and, you know, that's fine. That's how the world works. But I'll just tell you guys, I don't watch a whole lot of saw stuff anymore. If I'm watching your comment and in your live feed, I'm watching some of what you do, but I've unsubbed or unfollowed from quite a few channels, mainly just due to drama and just, you know, nonsense that I really don't need in my life. But, you know, with that said, if I've said anything in any of my videos that steered you down the wrong path about me, or to make you think that I'm a bad person, or what I'm doing is hack work, or that all we build's short-barred cookie cutting saws, well, I apologize, and I don't even know why, but, you know, whatever it is, what it is. I've not purposely tried to do anyone any wrong, I guess is what I'm getting at, and I pride myself on being an honest man. I don't lie to people. I don't believe in it. Anything I've shown anyone here, I've proved that it works. And, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, if you don't believe that, or think something I'm doing's wrong, or hack work, or I can't even believe I'm using that term, or is just wrong, you know, just keep it out of my comments, or just try to keep my name and my channel, just, you know, just unsubscribe, I guess is what I'm saying. But the rest of you that are here and have been around and know that I'm not filling you full of it, we're going to do more. We're going to put more good content out there for you guys, because you guys are what has made the channel grow. And, you know, the rest of you assholes, have a nice life. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. But with that said, positivity from here on out. Anyway, with that said, that 660 video, I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. Kind of been bothering me, but really shouldn't. Not really. I try not to let much stuff ruin my day, but with that said, we got it out of the way. One of you fellas that's in that 660 video, and I'll be honest with you, because I'm an honest man, I pulled that saw down offline for sale for the time being. It's not a good time to sell something. The holidays, again, just not a good time. You know, we'll get it back out there sooner or later, or whatever, we may just have another saw sitting on the shelf. But I've got another one to build. It's going to be a little different. You know, I'd mentioned maybe doing a porting video, maybe not. I probably will, just to try to help someone out. I know a lot of people buy the 660 clones, and let's just face it, I've watched those things run in stock form. They are turds right out of the box. I'll even be that guy that says a bone stock 660 is really not that impressive, but you know, they have their place. They're an old workhorse and last freaking forever, and you can beat them to death. And you know, that's what a real production timber faller cares about anyway. He wants something that he can beat the hell out of and put food on the table. But and you know, these Chinese saws probably ain't it. Let's just face it. You might get 6 months or a year out of one using it 8 or 10 hours a day, and hell, you'd probably be lucky if you done that. But if you've got other saws and you can rotate them in and out, you know, you may get several years out of one, or hell, they may last a decade. I don't know. My oldest one I've got here is a year old. I've milled with it, beat it to death, and I just pulled the bar and chain off, and she fired on the 6th pull and ran like a champ. So, you know, I don't know. But with that said, in that video, one of you guys said, well, if you make the porting series, could you show the tooling and the bits and burrs, you know, stuff we might need to get or need? Well, here you go, man. I don't really remember your name, but I remember your question. So, you know, this is for you, I suppose. First things first, I'm going to tell you guys. I don't know if I can find that other hand piece or not, but I'll just tell you, you can go to Harbor Freight and get a Knockoff Fordham Kit. It comes with a hand piece that is great. I'd advise you to steer clear of cutting mufflers or metal or anything jagged that might break the flex shaft, but I'd also say the same thing about the $1,000 Fordham. We're on our 3rd cable in that thing, but it's like 50 freaking bucks. Comes with the pedal. I'll tell you, my pedal just kind of, after about a week, was just, you know, wide open or nothing. But, you know, I used that thing for a couple of years, and it done great. Had no problems out of it until I broke the shaft, and should have just found another shaft and put in it, I guess. But I ended up just going the Fordham route because I tend to go overboard with everything I do. I'm covering the grinder first, I suppose. And we just hit our pedal with the ratchet knocked in the floor. I'll find a socket to that later. Put my spark plug socket on it. And I hope you guys can see everything, but first things first, this is just a Dremel flex shaft. It's not a knockoff, it's brand name. I don't remember the model number of the Dremel I bought, but it's the largest one Lowe's had at the time. I've had it a good part of 5 years, I suppose. It's around $100 with inflation and the way the country is, or the world rather, I should say. I don't know what you're going to pay for that thing now. I think I had about $100 in it. I eventually, not long after, I didn't know it existed at the time, to be honest with you, went back and got the flex shaft attachment. I highly recommend that. Hang it above your desk or your chair or wherever you're at. That's also a Dremel cutter that's in it. I leave that in it a lot. It's a tile cutter. I give Bill Hopper credit for that. I don't know if he watches me. If you do, hey man, and thanks for sharing that with people, but that's a really good cutter. It's the tile cutter. It's kind of expensive, but it stays in that thing a lot. It's good for shaping things and, you know, getting into little cracks and corners. Just does a real good job. You can get online or go to Harbor Freight. Again, I'm going to reference Harbor Freight a lot because a lot of this you can buy there at a good deal. Yes, it's Chinese, but 90% of what you use today comes from overseas, so it really doesn't matter. get you a pedal. There's variable speed pedals, and then there's wide open ones. I recommend you get the variable speed pedal. Leave your Dremel set, maybe not all the way wide open, but you know, most of the way, and use that pedal to control it. And what you'll need to get for that is 1/8" bits. While you're there, I recommend you pick up a box of diamond cutters. You'll use those a lot on saws to chamfer with. I've kind of got my own way of doing that, but you'll see these round flat ones. These will allow you to adjust your transfers. On 90% of the saws I do adjust the uppers. Again, I don't want to steer anyone away. A lot of controversy there. We'll get into that in a porting video, but you know, on most saws, I'm going to do a little bit of something with the upper transfers if it's changing the angle on them. But with that said, pick you up a box of those diamond cutters. You're going to need carbide cutters. I don't even know if I can dig one out of that. They'll look something like this. You can either go to CC Specialties and pay $15 a piece for these. I do have some from there. Or you can get on eBay and buy a whole box of them for $10. While you're there, buy 2 or 3 boxes of them because they wear out pretty quick. Cartridge rolls. This is a 1/4 inch. I'll get into this Fordham stuff shortly, but this is a 1/4 inch mandrel for a cartridge roll. You can get this in an 1/8 inch that'll fit the Dremel, or that'll fit your Harbor Freight Fordham knockoff, or this Fordham handpiece actually has an 1/8 inch collet you can put in it, and this right angle attachment is 1/8 inch. I know I've had a lot of questions asking what that's called, or you know what you needed to get. It's a mandrel for cartridge rolls. The cheapest way I've found to buy cartridge rolls, now you can get them through CC Specialties, or just pick around on eBay and buy them a little baggie at a time, but you're gonna go broke doing that. This set's about gone, but you can get this whole set from Summit Racing Equipment, and this is, you know, an automotive place for hot rodding. You get that whole box. I think the last one I bought there was about $35. It's about empty. I'm gonna have to order more before we do many more saws. And I use those a lot. You can port the whole saw with them. It's just time consuming. You know, the carbide cutters and diamond cutters cut a little quicker, but cartridge rolls leave a very nice finish. It's kind of hard to screw up using them. Most 90% of my intake porting, unless I have to drastically change timing, is done with those rolls. Let's see what next. Again, back to Harbor Freight, but these are not Chinese. These are not one of their brands. And get ready to spend some money for those. I think they were upwards of $65. I like the little straight one. It's similar to the one I showed you in the Dremel, but all these others have their place. Let's see, I've got other ones in here. If I can dig one out without making a big mess. If you buy the kit from CC Specialties, and I will get into that, and if you're going to get into this permanently, or you know, a big hobby, or you think you can use this stuff more, just go ahead and go buy the Fordham if you can swing the money. Again, my wife's very supportive. She bought the Fordham set for me. You know, their cutters are really nice. The kit comes with several different ones. Comes with different mandrels, a ton of cartridge rolls. Everything you need. I like this one. It's a long shanked. I've got others in here that are Aluma hogs that, you know, I used to use back when I ported cylinder heads and stuff. But they're all but wore out, but we still have them, still use them from time to time. But and if you've got tool trucks that run in your area, I bought a set like this from Matco Tools years ago. Still have a couple of them here, but make the mistake of loaning people stuff, and you just won't have it anymore. But we'll get into this Fordham. Do you need this? No. Seemed like when I got it, a fella that had shouted me out, a bigger channel, and I appreciate that. He knows who he is. It kind of, made a video saying how you didn't need this stuff. Dremel's all you needed, but lo and behold, itself and another big channel, you have Fordhams now. It is what it is, but like I said, if you can swing it, go to CC Specialties website. I can't think of what it's called. It's a complete 2-stroke porting kit. You'll get the right angle. That thing is a nightmare to learn to use, but I've gotten pretty good with it. Mainly because I took my time and learned to use it and found cutters that work good for me, because that tool alone is around $500-600 by itself to replace, believe it or not. But that 2-stroke kit, you'll get this hand piece, you'll get this right angle cutter, you get 2 1/4-inch carbide bits, the long one and the short one I've shown you, and you'll get 2 1/8-inch ones. Honestly, I took a cut-off wheel and cut them down to where they don't stick out of the end of the right angle, to where you can get into smaller cylinders, and they claim this thing will do a 25cc cylinder, I think. Someone can quote me on that if I'm wrong, but please be nice. Just a real good kit, but it's gonna set you back right around $1,000. I think it was, once it's said and done, just shy of $950. Then they're gonna charge you $10 or $20 to UPS ground it to you. But if you do buy it and you planned on cutting mufflers or anything with it, just go ahead and order you a couple extra flex shafts. Not the whole shaft, but the cable in it. I've already broke 2 of them. I don't even use it on anything but aluminum anymore. To be honest with you, the Dremel's tougher. If I'm cutting out a muffler or something metal or jagged, I use the Dremel, or I use my pneumatic grinder. What else, guys? Guys, I almost forgot. I'm going to try to clip this in somewhere. You'll have to forgive me, but I was in the house editing the video, and like, you didn't even show the polishing part. I've had people say, what is that called? It's just a slotted mandrel. If you've got some old cutters, you could honestly just cut the head off the cutter and cut you a slot in that, and boom, you have one. I've even heard of guys using a cotter pin, locked into the collet of your Dremel, but what this is going to allow you to do, you can use it to texture the port, to polish. If it knocks down imperfections you might have missed. It makes the chamfering process on your intake and exhaust port much easier. Think about it, you're going in and out of the port with a piece of sandpaper on this. If you're texturing, you can use 40, 60, 80, 120 grit, 100 grit paper, run it at a low speed. It'll put a really, really nice texture on your ports, but, here lately I just have been leaving the cartridge roll finish. It's nice enough. Again, controversy on that, but, everybody has their own way of doing stuff. But, let's see. That's basically the gist of it. You'll start your sandpaper. I think that's 2000 grit. You don't have to go that fine, but I work up the really fine grit paper when polishing. Use a little WD-40. You even use polishing compound with a piece of polishing foam on that. I've done that. It's just that deal. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. But I'm going to clip this in. I know I've had a lot of people ask about that, but it's just your typical slotted mandrel. Different sheets of sandpaper. If you plan on cutting any squish bands, we may get into that if we do a video. if you're going to do your saw, pick you up a couple Chinese cylinders to practice on and play with. They're not going to set you back much. You don't take the risk of ruining a several $100 cylinder, but what I'll do, I'll take an old piston, and I used to glue the paper on, but common sense kind of took over, and I do a little body work and paint work. If you'll look for sandpaper, I don't think I have a piece laying in here. It's called PSA. It's usually for an orbital sander. It's adhesive backed and really sticky, and when it wears out, you can peel it right back off and put a new piece on. I go through several pieces cutting a band down. But with that said, you're going to need different sheets of sandpaper. If you have a steel saw and you plan on cutting the base, you'll need a flat surface. It can be glass, metal. I think right now I'm using a piece of laminate floor on the back side of it. Just something flat, and we may get into that in another video. We may title it Redneck Machine Work or something, or DIY machine work. And if you have a lathe, you're blessed. You can just do so much more if you have one. I do plan on buying another. We bought one. It kind of ended up one of those deals, just kind of blew up in my face. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Ended up taking it back. Mainly just needed a bigger one, but we'll get into that another time later in the future. But as for right now, I really don't have much of a use for one. Degree wheel. I've got the other one you see all over the place, or you may have seen on my channel. If I can dig it out of this drawer, you can pick these up. They're about 20 bucks, but this thing is thin. It warps easy. It scratches easy. I'm willing to bet that it's not picking up that great on that camera. Seems they hate fluorescence. I picked this one up a couple weeks back. It is probably a 1/4 inch thick aluminum. Bike Master, and as you can see, it has really large numbers. If you're like me and about half blind and wear glasses and still can't see shit, really easy to see. Pick yourself up a 1/2 inch Jacobson chuck. It's for like a drill chuck or a lathe or something. You can put a 1/2 inch bolt in it or whatever you want to do. I've kind of got this on adapted down on a smaller bolt. Best wire I found. I really like to paint a reference point on a saw, but sometimes it can get aggravating to set your wheel up doing that. But the best wire I found is like a 14 gauge electrical wire, like you can put in your house. If any of you have done any electrical work, seems I've done a little bit of everything, but I don't like paying anyone or asking people to do stuff either. I just find a way to get it done. But piece of copper electrical wire makes a really good pointer. Just mount it on your saw once you've got it set up. It stays there. Seems to work pretty good. I'm trying to look across this bench and see if we've covered everything or missed anything, but Harbor Freight, eBay, Lowe's, CC Specialties, those places get you set up. Summit Racing Equipment. I'm sure there's other sets like that you can buy somewhere, but hope this might have helped somebody. Again, hope everybody has a happy holidays and everything goes well for you. But we're just done with drama here. If I go to watching any channels and it just seems that person's full of theirself, or just seems like every other video there's some drama or something, or if somebody's pointing fingers at me for no reason, and I really still don't get that. I've not done a thing to anyone or shown anyone anything that doesn't work. And all the saws I send out, people are tickled to death with. So, I just don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people today, but we're done with all of that. Life's too short. I have a life here other than this. It's just a hobby. I'm just done getting aggravated and upset with stuff. But, you know, to the couple of channels that shouted me out, these two really I can actually think of. Smitty and, you know, Harvey shouted me out about a year ago. You know, we've had some misunderstandings back and forth about intake ports, but, you know, I don't think anyone's feelings was hurt over it. You know, I did have to block a couple of guys that was coming in and trashing up my comments, but I'll just tell you right now, there's no one blocked from the channel. I've unblocked everyone. I'll give people a second chance. You know, maybe they didn't mean nothing by it, but, you know, to quote another guy or a couple others that say it, just be nice and, you know, try not to be such an asshole to people. And, you know I'm blunt and I've said some things, but I've really said nothing toward anyone that should have hurt anyone's feelings or make them just keep going on and on about me. But I've made some friends from YouTube. It kind of sucks. We all live so far apart, but again, it is what it is. But with that said, you know, hope this helps somebody. We may get into a porting video on that saw, we may not, but I've got lots of others here, lots of other projects. So if you don't see that one, you know, don't get disheartened about it. I will eventually throw another one out. But to the fella that asked about this stuff, and here you go. I hope it helped you. Hope it helped some more people. Hope my rambling didn't run anyone off. But as always, you guys stay safe. Happy holidays, and y'all have a good one.